Thank you, StreamYard Music, EMCA, for bringing us in. This is another episode of Cohost Auditions for the Sam Roberts Wrestling Show this time. I am your co-host, Dillon. I'll get these buttons right one of these days. And Sam Roberts will be our host today. Maybe he'll see this and like this very much and bring me on full time. That would be fun. And you may ask yourself, holy 1992, what is up with your hoodie? Well, you have to dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. And it appears that the official garb of the Notsam Wrestling Podcast is hoodies. Every episode I see, he's got a hood on. And I am going to join him since I want to be part of this broadcast. I forgot to zoom in on that one, but that's a nice little still there. I'll get some post on that on Photoshop. And my favorite of all, the Popeye the Sailor Man hoodie look. So that's why I'm dressed in a hoodie. And someone was crying right before I hit the live button. So I said, well, if you're going to come in, you're going to have to dress for the show as well, Missy. And hopefully you'll be good during this broadcast. I think we might have a kitty rolling around in here. We'll hear a bell if we do. But it's too hot out here for a pug. I will indeed get this off of her now that we did that bit. So the Not Sam Wrestling Podcast. Oh, I did not share the page yet. I'm actually going to go a few months in the past for the episode we're going to be doing today. Not Sam, share. Yeah, I didn't get this ready as I was supposed to. Someone distracted me. And it should be coming up. There. All right. Oh, I know what the issue is. There it is, folks. Working out all the kinks. So the Not Sam Wrestling Podcast. The latest episode I looked at, I don't know, didn't catch my attention. CM Punk, blah, blah, blah. LA Knight is definitely, like, Eli Drake, actually, I saw is in an upcoming video game that WWE is not involved. So that's cool that he got in there. What is it? The digital basement, the virtual basement. Today we're going to go to the Roman Reigns. Yeah. Who beats Roman Reigns? Blah, blah, blah. 2023 predictions is the episode. We are going to click on. Damn you.
Lock in. Get ready for
Better commercial.
left.
I think where
So
we should
let's
start is the question.
Get Sam's intro while I get Rosa out of this, and hopefully she's a good girl for the broadcast. Let's go to this one. Take it away, Sam.
Now on everybody's mind as we approach the Royal Rumble. It is, what does WrestleMania look like? Now, several months ago, I said that I thought that the way to go would be to have Cody return, to have The Rock show up, to have Roman Reigns in a situation where on night one of WrestleMania, he beats The Rock, and night two, Cody beats Roman. Now, some people have suggested doing it in the reverse. That makes no
All right, we're
sense
back.
because it would
Well, you missed out on that one. He only defended one night. What did you say? Was it Sammy and then Cody?
Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns, and he's still the second place story of the night because the Sunday main.
Yeah, it did work out very well that the show before WrestleMania was in Sammy's hometown. Like, I heard initially that program was only going to be a few weeks long, and then they were like, this is really catching on, and it's still going. Do you want out now? Take it away, Sam.
An event is still the biggest match in wrestling. Roman versus The Rock, and Cody is proverbial yesterday's tomatoes. So that wouldn't make any sense to do to me. I think it would make a lot more sense to have Cody or whoever. If you're going to have somebody beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, beat the guy that just beat The Rock. Don't beat the guy who's going to fight The Rock the next night.
Oh, The Rock, yeah. The Rock, you really wanted him. It seemed like everyone really wanted The Rock for this WrestleMania. And Hollywood was like, we do not want you breaking a damn thing. We're doing stuff with you. So he did not. Oh, Rosa is upset.
However,
she might not have been walked. I'm supposed to be told when she's not walked.
I've gone back on all of that. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I don't think Roman versus Sammy is the match to have at WrestleMania. I think this is where we start the predictions. At WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns retains the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Roman Reigns leaves WrestleMania this year with the title. It's something.
Well, Sam did see that coming.
Expect everybody.
Has Sam been working with WWE again? He's got that really funny botch.
Is the night that Roman Reigns
Action.
loses the title.
I didn't pull that clip. That would have been a fun one to pull.
Given
action.
That this is what's going to happen. The only thing anybody asks is, who's it going to be? Roman.
It's going to be
Reigns
Popeyes because who's it's going to be?
Mode. Roman Reigns is telling
siblings.
the type of story.
Did my mic just go out?
You don't necessarily see every single thing coming, but cohesively it all makes sense at the end. I think that Roman Reigns retains the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship at WrestleMania 39.
I hope nothing changed for the sound on this end. All the connections seem to be together. Oh, there it's back in my ears properly. Hopefully it's not my brand new headphones.
Another year.
This is why it's still the hobby month. Look at us with all these little flubs. At least I got a better background than Ryback. Look, I got Alf and Roger and not just random shit. Oof, that LCD screen is very much awful. My right channel keeps going out. That's what's happening. Is my left channel still there? I'm not sure if that's technical on just my headphones, but it's coming in and out. Troubleshooting after this episode, folks.
I think Roman Reigns turns baby.
Did Rosa break my headphones with her?
You're going to have to do it at some point or another. I think that, sure, you could say Roman Reigns loses the title at WrestleMania and then turns babyface. That's very conventional thinking. That's not outside of the box thinking. I think Roman Reigns retains the title, and sometime after WrestleMania, 3/4 into the year, turns babyface. And
bold.
I think what leads to Roman turning babyface
is,
and one of the more noteworthy feuds for Roman, is going to be in 2023. The rivalry between Roman Reigns and one of the greatest threats.
Actually, what he's doing is like a modern day wrestling promo where it needlessly takes 20 minutes because of their cadence.
To his title reign, Solo Sikoa. I think that 2023 will start with Roman turning on Sammy. Like that, those seeds are already clearly being planted. The fact that on SmackDown, we got a presentation of, will Roman Reigns declare Sammy a full Uce, or is he still an honorary Uce?
Oh, this is before the turn in Royal Rumble.
Right. We were
able of course, it's the first thing of the year.
Which would lead you to believe
I think
he's still not a full-time Uce. The reason that you couldn't address it is because he's not going to be a full-time Uce. Now is not the time to completely tear it up. But I don't think there's going to be Roman Reigns on SmackDown next week. On the 30th, you've got the tag team match, so the question about whether or not he's a full-time Uce isn't going to be answered. And the rest of it will take us to the Royal Rumble. We're getting Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns, I believe, at Elimination Chamber. Either at the Royal Rumble, right after the Royal Rumble, surrounding the Royal Rumble, you'll get the bloodline turning on Sami.
All right, points.
Sami does something honorable. It'll make
2 points for Sam.
The Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is in Montreal. Sami Zayn is not beating Roman Reigns. He's not going to beat him at WrestleMania. He's not going to beat him at all. So if you're going to do the match, do it in Montreal, in Sami Zayn's hometown. You will get the monstrous ovation.
Future teller Sam Roberts here. Well, just logical.
Won't get anywhere else.
They're doing a lot of things right now in WWE to lure people back. The artificial extending of the Bloodline Cody storyline, it feels like a TV show that should have wrapped up at WrestleMania, but they just keep on going. I say that of sitcoms, like 5 to 8 seasons seem to be the good amount of sitcom life length. And the Bloodline sitcom, it's more of an as the world turns, which explains why they just want it to go on forever and ever, because Those soaps do. But yeah, it's like a sitcom in its 10th season when 7 or 8 was the pull-out time. See Big Bang. Like that was a dumb sitcom, but it did what it was supposed to do. But after 5, 6 seasons, they just kept going. It was profitable enough, and boo.
The entrance to the Roman
And
Reigns
yes, I
match
know it's
in
shitty.
Montreal.
How I
when
Met Your
Roman Reigns
Mother,
beats him,
another one.
You've got the
Oh, that
billows
last season.
of boos
Ooh, that last
hitting Roman
season.
Reigns.
Ooh, that last
Now
episode.
that'll take us through
Oof.
WrestleMania. That'll take us through Roman Reigns retaining against whether it be Rock and Cody, whatever it is. I think Roman Reigns will wrestle twice. But then as the year progresses, Solo Sikoa will continue to build in strength, will continue to build in power. Solo Sikoa will continue to design himself after Umaga. And by SummerSlam, I think you're looking
They
at
haven't
Solo
really
Sikoa.
acknowledged that Umaga and Rosie, the superhero in training, were part of the bloodline. Have they? Well, Umaga died young. Rosie, I haven't seen in a while. Who did I meet out in Los Angeles? I believe that was Angel Anawahi. He runs a wrestling school out there. And yes, they were definitely learning. I went to one of their shows. Those folks were definitely learning. I think Gangrel and Angel Anawahi. I haven't seen Jacob Fatu. Jim Cornette speaks very highly of him.
And
still lots of
the
bloodline
Usos.
out there.
We'll get to the Usos in a little bit. Versus Roman Reigns in a massive title match that, if everything has been effective, Solo Sikoa will have been built up to the place where it's like he may be the one that takes the title from Roman Reigns, especially because at that point, Roman Reigns is a babyface.
But yeah, they kept the title on Roman. That's actually what Sam said. But my opinion of keeping the title on Roman at WrestleMania.
No! God damn it! You fucked it up! God damn you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Get the fucking thing together! Fuck you!
Is what I think of keeping the title on Roman instead of having Cody beat him. This is, it's tedious. Hopefully they're getting back to the as
Cody
the
Rhodes,
world
right?
turns, as the
returning at the Royal Rumble. It's the only
as
way
the
to
world
do
turns.
it.
Yeah, that's one
Cody
of the big
Rhodes
ones.
may
General
even go
Hospital
to WrestleMania, but the bigger picture in 2023 for Cody Rhodes is that if he was always intended to win the WWE Championship from Roman Reigns,
I still have this at 1.5 times because Sam is just speaking with that cadence, and it's just so slow.
Probably always intended to happen at WrestleMania 39. However, to get to WrestleMania 39, you would have hopefully told a hero's journey, a tale for 1 year of a hero returning and trying to win the title for his father. The problem is, at Hell in a Cell, Cody went down. Cody went down in June. 6 months.
And we'll see if he keeps going with this storyline. It could be good. Cody is conquering Brock Lesnar. So good for him. It's funny how I don't watch this shit, but Jim Cornette is just so entertaining. As I said, just reading the phone book. I am this weird former wrestling fan that's still a fan of former wrestling fans, and we commiserate together. Thank you for putting out massive amounts of content, Jim Cornette. That can just be on the background all week. Like sometimes it's 3, 4 hour episodes. There's 7, 8 hours of Jim Cornette to take in a week. Thank you for your ramblings.
Needs to be big. The Cody payoff needs to be huge. And if you want to rebuild momentum for somebody, you can't bring them back and put them all the way at the end of the story. You bring them back and then you bring them to the beginning of the story without people even realizing it. See, the story that you're telling is, instead of Cody returning at WrestleMania 38.
Very dramatic, that camera shift. We've got serious Sam Roberts now. We need to get the closer of the two shots. We can't get the wide for this explanation. This is important.
Possible and getting all the way to WrestleMania 39 and becoming.
And I do believe StreamYard has a dynamic, so it might be the automatic. Well, this isn't live, so he's editing it and putting it up. There are no lives on this channel. They're all cut up. So this is post.
Is the only match Cody has lost.
This is not dynamic switching.
WrestleMania 39.
That StreamYard promotes for the next
WrestleMania 40,
tier level that I don't have yet.
You tell the story of Cody Rhodes being rebuilt. Cody Rhodes will not win the title in 2023 because Roman Reigns will hold it the whole time. But Cody Rhodes,
Miss Cleo over here. WWE, I heard, is trying to get into Vegas odds, but yeah, I'm so far. Sam Roberts and his magic ball. I've got to put money on what he says happened.
John Cena will headline a premium live
And once
event in
again, big
2023.
ups to
That could be
Triple H
Backlash.
and that team
John
for
Cena
putting
wants to
together a
wrestle one
logical
pay-per-view.
show, even though the fucking senile old man is back there telling you what senile old men say, which is what really worked 40 years ago.
After WrestleMania, because John Cena will be back. Clearly. I don't think that's going out on a limb. Could be Backlash. Could be SummerSlam. You could be looking at a SummerSlam that has Roman versus Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. But Cody Rhodes will have a John Cena match at a premium live event that headlines that premium live event. I would imagine that Cody Rhodes would beat John Cena.
That makes sense. And John Cena does have, it's my favorite show. He has a Peacemaker to promote. I love Peacemaker. So, reminding the wrestling fans, hey, Cena still exists, and he's doing something with James fucking Gunn. Oh, love me some James Gunn.
Too specific is that John Cena will also wrestle Logan Paul this year. He's going to absolutely wrestle Cody Rhodes.
Logan Paul is in the multi-man ladder match.
And when John Cena wrestles Logan Paul,
gotta zip
Logan
up
Paul
to be
will
proper
win.
here.
Mark my words, in 2023, John Cena will wrestle Logan Paul and John Cena will lose. I think the whole world saw what Logan Paul can deliver. John Cena, if you look at him historically, he's got this rep for some reason of being the guy who was he's always got to win. He's Superman. He's this, he's that. He's lost.
He does have the Superman punch. He needs to learn that Superman kick and that Superman clothesline. Some more one hit deaths for our regular superstars.
A lot of key matches. And the last several years of his career, he was not main eventing WrestleMania. He was working on the undercard. And while, he beat Bray and he beat Rusev, I think the intention was that just having those showcase matches.
Rusev, so many times bungled. There's just another example of our good friend Tony Khan thinking that he can do everything. I can run every aspect of this company. I've never had a inclination towards creativity and making stories, but I'm going to take over that department too and be very angry when you give me constructive criticism that I will delete your channels. They ran a girl on film off the internet. They were fucking bullies. And since you deleted her stuff off the internet, I don't know if that's documented anywhere of Tony Khan leading the charge to bully girl on film. I hope someone documented. She took them all down. That was fucking fascinating.
To push them forward. Maybe one of them should have beat John. We're not doing a show about the past. We're doing a show about the future. I think that John, of all people, understands what Logan Paul can bring to the WWE in terms of eyeballs and understands that in order for it to work fully, wrestling fans have to be behind it as well. Now, wrestling fans were behind Logan Paul after seeing what he was capable of with Roman Reigns. But ultimately, if you can't win matches, if you are showing up and losing all the time, no matter how good the matches are, you're going to lose credibility. Logan Paul doesn't wrestle all that often. But he wrestles a lot more often than
at his regular speed. He's trying to sound so authoritative, so knowledgeable. He learned the WWE style of cutting a promo. He doesn't speak like this on Jim and Sam, does he? Any of the 6 people who still watch Jim and Sam, can you speak on that? Actually, I guess I did hear a Jim and Sam clip when he had to fire back at Opie for firing at him. I'm not gonna shit on Opie and then 45 minutes of shitting on Opie. Thank you, Jim.
And then John Cena. I think Cena's gonna see that. I think Cena's gonna realize the gift that he can give is the gift of beating John Cena. I think Logan Paul will beat John Cena in 2023.
That would be neat.
I think that in 2023,
not as neat as Cody beating.
You will see, as I said,
Dogs
Roman Reigns holding that title for another year.
That's the old one.
Which means the championships will have to be elevated even more so, that are not the world title. The United States Championship and the Intercontinental.
If we do get to phase 2, I can hire an underling to take care of any of their woofs. I don't think it's until stage 3 that we get our own. Actually, I was going to look into getting some studio space in town. I think there might be a place that is very artist friendly that I could get a good price at some studio space.
Continental Championship
or an hour at a time.
Even more so. We're seeing that with the way the United States Championship is presented. We're seeing that with the way Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins are fighting tooth and nail to get that title away from Austin Theory. That title is being held on a pedestal. I believe that title will continue to be held on a pedestal. Will we see John Cena versus Austin Theory? I kind of
Brock Lesnar coming up next. Let's get to that. We got it with Cena and Logan.
I believe that in 2023, Brock Lesnar will become the WWE.
He's throwing the announcer stank on it. Brock. He is becoming Gollum too. Silly Sam Roberts becoming an interviewer instead of being in the one ring where Gollum Roberts will be every time to announce John Cena. I hate that inflection they put on that so much. I am going to start a Gollum Roberts march against wrestling announcers, throwing that Gollum stank on John Moxley. Douche chills. Douche chills for hitting the microphone with my ears.
I believe the quest will be
to
get the Intercontinental title somehow taken off of Brock Lesnar. And I know what you're saying. Brock Lesnar doesn't wrestle on every show, so now we're not going to have a world champion or an Intercontinental champion. I think you can get Brock for a season.
Can we get a giant sticker for a season?
Sticker, you put your brand out into the world.
I've got a Cardiff Electric sticker on the back of mine.
Anywhere.
Got it at DabbleCon.
I think that you can do what you need to do with Brock, but I think the point of putting the Intercontinental Championship on Brock Lesnar, even if it's not for the whole year, even if it's a short-term thing.
Okay. This is a neat proposal of having our buddy Brock beat Gunther for the Gunther. They don't throw the German stank on it, do they? So Gunther versus Brock.
Matches.
He's seeing Brock coming out on top.
To be even more meaningful.
Maybe that's where Brock will go
win the Intercontinental title, maybe from Gunther.
Cody Rhodes.
He'll hold the title. And I believe that Sami Zayn will challenge Brock Lesnar for that title. That may be where you get the Sami Zayn victory. It's not going to be against Roman. He'll have his amazing moment, but it's not going to get the victory against Roman. We may see Sami Zayn beat Brock Lesnar for the Intercontinental.
Sibilance.
Brock Lesnar will eventually get that victory back. Don't you worry about that. But if Sami Zayn's momentum continues to build post Bloodline, as it has during the Bloodline, then I think the idea of Sami beating Brock Lesnar is at least worth the conversation. So as we're talking about people coming back, as we're talking about people returning
back,
I think that
coming back.
Obviously, we'll see John Cena wrestling. We're seeing him wrestle on SmackDown. I think that we will see John Cena. Goldberg will be something that
Goldberg will be where?
I think that we're prone for another Goldberg match, and I think that this is something that
like Goldberg's putting on the bidding war now.
Stars,
good,
but also
businessman.
they figured out how to execute.
I need a retirement match, WWE. If you're not going to give it to me, maybe AEW will. Maybe I'll just promote it on my own, and I'll fight. Not you, Ryback. I think is where we're at with that Goldberg promoting his retirement match going on.
It's why they fight to retain some sort of credibility to these legends. So that when they do come back, it's like they're still a threat. I believe Steve Austin will wrestle.
Maybe it's the connection.
I think you've got John Cena, Steve Austin, The Rock, and Goldberg all wrestling WWE matches in 2023. I do not believe that CM Punk will wrestle in 2023.
Sibilance.
I think with Rock, Cena, Goldberg, Austin.
Sibilance.
I think with Roman, with Brock, with Cody coming back, possibly Randy Orton coming back.
Broke my
with Seth, with Bobby.
Headphones with
there's
cuteness.
So much going on.
These are new.
The WWE could always do something.
I guess professional equipment is
don't think
prone.
they need to by any stretch of the imagination.
That seems to be making a difference.
AEW will take CM Punk back, and I don't think
putting
CM
the
Punk
wire over there.
AEW. CM Punk's got too much pride, and so because of that, I don't.
This will be the third mic's headphones. I'll get some new ones for me.
We talk about AEW.
And of course, the first mic, Sam Roberts.
I believe Ricky Starks will become a top
he has been very knowledgeable. Like if you were
to give me a fucking answer. What don't you get about it?
He is giving us answers, and he gets a lot about it. So, Christian Bale, he has got a good retort to you.
I don't think it'll happen immediately. I don't think this is like, because I just saw his promo. I've been on the Ricky Starks bandwagon for a long time. But I think by around mid-year, people will realize, like, oh my God, like there will be an actual outcry to put the title on
Did I talk over what he was going to say about Punk? Whatever. Yeah, Starks, the ball has been dropped on Ricky Starks. He's kind of like in an LA Knight situation and a Damian Sandow where they didn't plan on him getting over. He got over and then just have him win. That's what WCW did with Wrath. The fact that you're worse, that it was more well run, WCW in '98, than what you're doing creatively is astonishing.
A nice little bidding war for
Oh,
absolute
and I could
rookie
go down
stars.
a whole like
And I think
booking.
you will
I think I did go down that whole booking black hole of how you're supposed to have veterans working with young stars, and it happened all the time in old WCW with just all the people that they had around that were established, and those that were brand new to the business,
you will have earned it. I think
which
that
AEW doesn't have.
AEW is going
They
to
just do what they want.
continue
We do what
to
we
build
want.
homegrown talent, to put the focus there.
That's why
I think
Kazarian
this is
left.
the direction they've been
Kazarian
going in.
wanted
And I
to help the new talent. He wanted to work with the new talent. He was getting paid to do nothing. Some people don't like that. Tony Khan, you silly bastard, just collecting your live action wrestling figure toys and having a lot of them collect dust, or oh no, I'll dust them off once a month and people will remember. No, they're your wrestling figures, Tony Khan. We do not remember them or the momentum they had a month ago, because they're not our wrestling figures. They're your wrestling figures.
And I think they will continue. I'm talking about
You,
people like
you know
Starks,
that lore
obviously.
on the
Willow,
storytelling.
Jade Cargill.
If
Britt
you're
Baker.
not reading the internet 24/7, you have no idea about those stories, because that's they don't explain it on television.
Preston Vance, Wardlow, Jamie Hayter. I think these are
And
the names.
Vinny
And I think the
Paulino still
fans
watches Dynamite.
are gonna
Vinny,
do it for
Vinny,
them.
Vinny,
I
Vinny.
think that the AEW fans are gonna let the organization know that this is the group of talent that they want to see, and that the ex-WWE guys and girls will still be draws and still be commodities, but ultimately it's what we saw with the Acclaim in 2022, and what we saw with Jamie Hayter to a degree in 2022, and what we saw for the first half of the build with Wardlow that went absolutely nowhere. When there is the AEW fans are
I
passionate.
swallowed. I
And
made a
when
mouth
there
noise
is
right as
a
soon as I
homegrown
unmuted.
talent that the cream is starting to rise on, that fan base gets behind them and gets behind them hard. I think that hopefully that's what you will continue to see in AEW. Now, the big question about AEW is, what about MJF? What about the great bidding war of 2024? He's got until the end of the year 2023, theoretically, on his contract. I believe that MJF, towards the end of the year, will lose the title. I think it'll take him that long to lose the title. I think we will get an amazing MJF story with Samoa Joe at some point that will harken back to Joe shoving a young MJF. I believe that he's made one little kind of passing reference to it on television.
We're getting
when he first
Joe
got
and
back, but
Punk,
I
it
think
looks
that we'll see
like, which
a
is very
full-fledged
good.
story with Samoa Joe. And I think
MJF just looks like a bitch. Tony Khan knows how to make his toys look like toys and little bitches. Mark Briscoe was had the organic momentum, but Tony was like, nope, I wrote it in pen. It's the 4 pillars match that I wrote in pen. I cannot erase it because it's pen, not pencil. So we will not have. I don't know why I'm giving him that. The Tony Khan impression should be like one of these. But I guess I'm just doing something silly because of his silliness and decisions of not knowing how business and money making works. I'll just rent out the biggest building in town and we'll fill a third of it. Fucking rich.
I think we'll see a full-fledged
child.
story with Eddie Kingston. I think that Eddie will make the world believe that he actually is going to be the AEW champion. And I think that we might even get another full-fledged Ricky Stark story, not one that lasts a couple of weeks, right? Clearly, we're going into 2023.
Ooh, that rich child, Tony Khan, might be giving us a great wrestling game, though. Like, it's a major failure on the marketing department not to point out that AEW Fight Forever is coming to you from the same team, maybe not the same team, but the same company that brought Def Jam Fight for Forever. There was a big adoration for Def Jam Fight Forever, Def Jam Fight for New York, and a big distaste for what they did to it in Def Jam Icon. You stupid assholes. We made this fighting system for another game, and it worked really great. So we're going to put it on this game that has its own unique fighting system. I don't know why he's Southern. Same with, I don't know why this mouth was happening for the other impression.
With Bryan Danielson and MJF.
Just
So when
unique
you're looking at Bryan
characters.
Danielson, you're looking at Ricky
Sorry,
Starks,
they
you're
ain't
looking
me.
at Samoa Joe, and you're looking at Eddie Kingston in no particular order. I think that's the plate that MJF is looking at. And I believe he will lose the AEW championship. I don't know to who yet.
Soon, Rosa.
It won't be until the end of the year. We're a year removed from that. It's impossible to say.
I don't think she was walked today.
I believe that MJF will convince the world that he's leaving. I believe that it will be reported on wrestling sites that he's leaving. I believe that we will first hear that MJF was supposed to be doing a gimmick that he's leaving, but now he's actually leaving. And then I believe we will hear MJF's music play in AEW, and we will find out that he has indeed re-signed. I believe that MJF will close out 2023 re-signed with AEW. I think that that's the move, because I think that MJF is starting to figure out, and by then we'll have really figured out that he's the top dog over there. And no matter how big he gets in AEW,
and they
he's
are
not
just
coming over to
bottoming out
WWE
their top dog because they
as the
don't
top
know
dog.
how
He's not coming
they
over
don't
to
keep
WWE
top
bigger than
dogs over
Roman.
there.
He's not coming over to WWE bigger than Cody.
They're
He's
very
certainly not
much
coming over to WWE bigger than Brock.
who was the dog
He's not- he
fighter?
can't-
Was that
he can't,
T.O.?
right? He's going to have to take a
Who
back
fought the
seat
dogs?
to a number of people.
Like Tony Khan, if they don't do something, he just takes them out back and shoots them in the head. But Tony Khan throws the dead dog back in the ring. That's the thing. He'll shoot the dog for not performing as he likes, and throw the dead dog back in the ring and expect the audience to be excited about the match.
He's not coming to WWE
Tony
bigger than
Khan
Seth
and
Rollins.
his dead
He doesn't have to take
dog
a back seat,
roster.
or by the time the end of 2023 comes, he won't have to take a back seat to anybody in AEW. He'll be calling all of his own shots in a very real way, writing his own stories.
Tony
doing
Khan,
what
the
he wants to
Shuli
do.
Network
I
of.
think
Oh
he'll
yeah,
find it.
I've used that the other way.
Yeah.
Shuli Network is
Maybe there
the
is that part
AEW
of
of
him that wants
podcasts.
to be a WWE superstar. Yes.
That
Maybe
works
there is
both
that part of
ways.
him that needs to headline a WrestleMania. He says there isn't, but I don't believe him when he says it. All that
said, here's a
No
car.
matter where you're headed.
said,
Good for you getting commercial
Maybe
breaks.
27.
Ryback doesn't have commercial
I don't
breaks.
think he's at WWE until
And we know who to blame for that. Vince McMahon and all the billionaires who are plotting against Ryback to keep his name from social media. It isn't that that Ryback is less popular. It's a billionaire conspiracy against a wrestler who was popular for 6 or so months.
If then. I think he resigns with AEW. I do think when you talk about returns to WWE, I think that Naomi will be back in WWE. I don't know if it'll be bloodline related. I don't know if it'll be once the bloodline
She does have family
separates and
there.
she's with
Like the
Usos. I
Samoans
don't know
go way back with WWE. So being a Samoan in-law, that does give her some leeway to be like, sorry that I got pissed and walked out. Can I come back in? To me, it's now a famous story. I don't know if the general public knows it, of when Cornette has told it a few times that they were going to fire Rikishi back when he was Fat 2 before he was the Sultan. That's what they ended up dropping a gimmick on him. And they called him in the office. They brought Afa, or one of the older Samoans, and he brought 2 of his nephews who were 3-minute warning. And instead of firing Fat 2, Vince McMahon hired 3-minute warning, and they never debuted under that run. Vince McMahon is said to have the Jedi mind tricks, at least when he was younger, and the Samoan Jedi mind tricks are even more.
They're
So
completely separate.
I'm not
I
sure
believe
who's
Naomi will be back in
Vince
WWE
is the
in
Sith.
2023. I
Who
believe
am I
Sasha Banks
kidding?
will
Who's the Sith and who's the Jedi? Samoans are the Jedi. Vince is the Sith. That's how those force powers went in that battle.
Not be back in WWE in 2023. Just a prediction. I have no idea. But there's just something about the way this whole thing has worked out that tells me. I'm not saying she'll never be back. I just don't see Sasha Banks in WWE in 2023. Naomi, yes.
Nope.
Now, while we're talking about women,
Like, she
Sasha
doesn't need to
Banks.
do anything probably beyond filming an episode of The Mandalorian. And I don't know why he landed on Sasha Banks and Lizzo and who he lands on, but it's a fun rotation of, oh, look, there's Jack Black. There's Christopher Lloyd. It's Sasha Banks. And Mercedes Monet, I think she's going by now. I think Mercedes is her actual name. And Monet, I don't know. Maybe I would go by Mercedes Brodus. I don't think her and Snoop Dogg found out they were cousins until they were adults. They're definitely cousins. And I think I heard recently that they were unaware of that until
Banks,
they were
Naomi.
older.
I believe
I
that
believe.
at WrestleMania, Bianca Belair will defeat Charlotte. I think that will happen at WrestleMania. I think that we will go into WrestleMania wondering if Charlotte is finally the one to beat Bianca. I think that that's the story that will be told. Nobody, like Bianca has been able to beat everybody. They'll talk about the 4 horsewomen: Becky, Bayley, Sasha. I don't know if they'll actually mention Sasha because she won't.
I don't know why. I've always liked horsewomen. Big fan of Aubrey Edwards. I know some people don't find the horse face attractive, but I don't know. Just a thing into the horses.
Be back. But they'll talk about how Charlotte is the last of those 4 horsewomen that Bianca needs to beat. And that narrative will continue about, Bianca being unstoppable. I believe that it won't be at WrestleMania, but that Rhea Ripley will be the one to beat Bianca Belair. I think that in 2023, Rhea Ripley
It is time to unify those titles. The way they've gone about, everyone has a world champion. Everyone has a tag champion. They've unified the tag champions, but they haven't because it's not one title. And then once they unified the world titles, we've got a new one. And silver medal Seth Rollins got it. Silver medal Seth. All photos need to take that gold belt and make it silver because that's Seth's silver medal.
Definitively.
That's the new
defeat
Intercontinental title. The
Belair
Intercontinental
for the
title
WWE
is
Raw
the
Women's
old
Championship. At the
European.
same time,
Everything's
I
just
think at
knocked down a
WrestleMania, and I don't
notch.
think it's going too far out on a limb, Becky Lynch will win the SmackDown Women's title from Ronda Rousey. I think Becky will finally, again, definitively beat Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
I think the ship has. I think the horse has left the barn on that one. Ronda Rousey had such a dismal second-year run, and it was clear that Vince McMahon that was his style. Just go out there and smile. You can't smile enough. Same strategy he gave heel Diesel. You're a good guy now. Just smile. And just terrible to get this. Change everything about yourself and be a smiler. I can certainly do a better Vince McMahon impression than that, can I? Well, that's what you got today. I'll work on it. Is Vince McMahon not really sounding like Vince McMahon? This is, it's bleeding into my Jesse Ventura. That's what's happening. I've been doing too many Jesse Ventura impressions lately, and my Vince is bleeding into my Jesse.
Why you're turning Becky Lynch?
You have a vibrating chair?
And it's not to be second fiddle on Raw. And she's not beating Bianca Belair. I don't think. That story's been told. I think that Becky is a babyface.
See that vibrating chair.
And I think that she will defeat Ronda Rousey. But it will be Rhea Ripley who is finally the one to beat.
Do you have Parkinson's?
I personally believe.
What is up
Rey Mysterio
with your
will have
shakes
his
there,
retirement
sir?
match this year. I think that one of the big reasons that Rey Mysterio has stuck around for as long as he has is he wants to make sure that his son Dominic is taken care of. Now the fact is,
man, Dominic's been set up amazingly.
Up in the air,
who would have thought?
Up until
Dominic
Mysterio
has taken that ball and ran with it.
Dominic as a heel has worked.
And
everything Dominic has done.
Those who were wrestling fans remember there was a lot of talk. Dominic or Hook, Taz's son, who has got the brighter future. And from the start, everyone was like, it's Hook. He's got the look. Girls love him. But WWE gave the ball to Dominic, and he is running with it. Tony Khan doesn't like giving the ball to anyone else. The same thing with the creative process and everything. This is my ball. No one can run with. You can run behind me with my ball, but you cannot run with this ball, Hook. Run behind me, and you'll get just as over as you would as if I gave you the ball and you were running with it.
Doing work has to be inspiring. Once you figure out how to make something work, the hope is that you know how to make things work. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to make everything work, but you're going to know, okay, the reason that last thing worked is because I did this or I did that. And each segment that Dominic does, because it's not just happening to him. It's not just because Corey Graves has been great on commentary with him. And he has. The stories Corey Graves has been telling about Dominic on commentary have elevated the story tremendously.
So someone referred to Corey Graves as the metrosexual CM Punk. And that is, I find that so accurate.
Clearly at her peak that we've seen. I believe she's only going to continue to grow, but she's never been better than she is right now. So it's great that Dominic is associated with that. Of course, with Priest and Balor, doesn't hurt either. But the fact is that Dominic is doing little things to make it work. Dominic is getting booed way more than the Judgment Day. We believe.
Yeah, Dominic has a good back and forth with the crowd. It's just very much.
Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
Oh, I cut that a little late. I want the guy yelling "fuck you" at Eddie too. I'm gonna have to recut that one.
On his father, and we know that the Rey Mysterio Dominic storyline is not over because of the video they did on Thanksgiving when Dominic and Rhea attacked Rey. I think this will be Rey's retirement year, his last year in the WWE, and I think it will be Dominic Mysterio who retires Rey Mysterio. I think we will finally see Dominic versus Rey.
Let's see. Rey won against Dominic. I believe there was Dominic had a great interview about throwing the drink on his sister that was in the moment. And he was like, she's dumb enough to just have her cup out there. And I'm supposed to be me. Well done, Dominic.
Rey, I think it will be Rey's retirement
Dominic
match.
Mysterio running away with it. Who would have thought?
As far as
we all thought he was
goes. Now,
just
we saw on SmackDown just this week
lame for a year or more.
Was shown as a separate person. Now, again, everybody, oh, Bo Dallas. Oh, this person, Dutch from Ring of Honor, Vincent from Ring of Honor. The fact is that with all the chicanery that Bray Wyatt has been up to in the past.
Chicanery? Who would have thought I needed that drop from Better Call Saul? I would. I need to write that in my notes. Is that I need that Better Call Saul chicanery drop? Man, thank you for giving me that idea, Sam. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Saw both of them at the same time does not mean at some point they're going to take the mask off Uncle Howdy and it's just Bray Wyatt under the mask.
Howdy.
Okay, there is
That
absolutely
would be
nothing
very
about
Bray
SmackDown
Wyatt.
that tells me in the canon that is Bray Wyatt, with the suspension of disbelief and the rules that we've agreed to, with the way we take in Bray Wyatt.
Talk about a regret buy, a regret sign. Bray Wyatt. I think the giving him creative freedom, no one gets over. Like LA Knight, that blacklight match that he had. What the fuck? What, like the big spot was, watch, I knocked over a cup and there's blacklight confetti in it. Ooh, Bray, you got to bring it. You can do all this silly horse shit, but the matches you're supposed to bring it, and the big spot is, ooh, confetti in a cup. Wow.
Bray Wyatt. There is nothing that tells me that Bray Wyatt could not be in two places at once. Nothing. That's the type of shit Bray Wyatt does. So,
but he
I
blew
don't
it.
know what all that is, but what I think is that
Brock said, "Fuck
hopefully
you."
the story starts to speed up.
Brock was definitely
I think
supposed to
that's
win that
necessary.
Lashley match and go on and face him, but he was like, "Fuck you." And then whatever happened behind the scenes for that Lashley match to not happen, I think it was better for Lashley. Anyone who faces Bray is more under. He should have gone to AEW. They're great at getting people under, not over.
Necessary.
Oh,
I think that
WWE
as
too.
cool as every segment is
That's
individual.
why I listen to people
At
talk
some
about
point,
them
people are gonna
rather than
realize
watch it
that we've been
myself.
watching this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And even though it started as literally the hottest storyline in wrestling, we've gotten to a point where the story has not concretely grown all that much.
I'm jealous of Sam
many,
Roberts'
many weeks.
strings.
There are still
The
far
last
more questions.
wash that this went through, it pulled it out on this side, and now I don't want to wear it out anywhere where I'll have to wash it again, so I can get this fixed. I guess take it when I'm.
More questions than answers, and there aren't that many answers.
I'll think of the
I
name.
think that
Taylor
that is going to
Take
sort of
to
be
a
cleared up.
Taylor or
I think
some
that we'll
shit
move
like
past
that.
the LA Knight thing.
Dry
And
cleaners might be able
even
to
though I
do
didn't
it.
think at the beginning, I actually do think that we will see a faction start to form. I think that we're looking
Bray,
at
Bray,
Bliss
Bray.
going back
Okay,
with
we're
Bray Wyatt.
getting. We're not
Which
going
is
to
for
listen
the way
to
that
any
they're
of this
teasing it
Bray
every week on
shit.
Raw. That's another reason.
Spray hello to Elta MD.
Okay.
AOX
He
Hello,
isn't
100%
overloaded
mineral
with
sunscreen.
commercials.
Why, I know.
The Conrad Thompson, like 10-minute clips, they seem to be inserting commercials at the absolute minimum amount of time that they're able to put them in. And it's Conrad, you're turning me against you. Ever since the Ric Flair retirement match, you exploited your father-in-law. No matter how much he wanted to be exploited, you should have known better. And I'm not seeing you in the same light, and I'm seeing cracks in your
LA Knight
organization.
is being portrayed as the heel. Bray Wyatt is being portrayed as the babyface. I think they want to keep Bray Wyatt a babyface. So how do you have somebody that's sort of mysterious, dark, looming as a good guy? You get a group that's even more dark, even more mysterious, even more with Nikki Cross and with Alexa Bliss. So where
that's the
does that
Knight.
leave LA
A
Knight?
little.
I think in 2023, LA Knight will headline at least one NXT premium live event. I think LA Knight will end up back in NXT.
Not as catchy as pay-per-view.
I
Understand why the change.
The New Day is in NXT right now. I think, especially with NXT attempting to go back on the road. Vengeance Day is going to be in Charlotte.
Actually, I'm pretty far down.
North
I hope
Carolina.
y'all can hear him.
Hopefully, if you're in the area, you're buying tickets because
that
I want
sounds
to
like we're
succeed.
competing too much.
6 weeks after Charlotte, 8 weeks maybe.
Check that volume.
NXT will be in Los Angeles. Stand and deliver.
We've had viewers the whole time.
I think
if it was
the idea
bad,
is to continue to do those live shows. You're going to continue to do live shows where you're trying to sell thousands of tickets. You're going to need some pretty big matches. You're going to need some star power. And as you're building stars in NXT, I think bringing stars in from the main roster is the way to go. I think we're going to see more and more of that. And I think LA Knight is going to be one of those people.
Wherever you can put LA Knight is fantastic. Oh, I still didn't pull that Shoes of a Champion clip.
I think that
that Shoes of a Champion clip. He is on fire in that interview. And when he flubs his line, he just rolls with it, and the fans are with him. Acknowledge, go on. Absolutely amazing talent.
Break or depart. When you're looking at who is
somewhere
from
no
NXT,
one cares about in Maryland.
Call-ups. And call-ups that should
Maryland
be successful.
Cares.
And some of these are obvious, and to me, some of them are not.
Until they finally changed his hometown to Los Angeles. And I was like, yeah, me too, LA. But his name was LA Knight for so long and from Hagerstown, Maryland. Until they were like, maybe LA Knight should be from Los Angeles. How about we change that?
We'll get called up. I think
In
Braun
the
Breaker.
intro with Gollum Roberts, I believe they have a lady introducing them in the One Ring. Los Angeles night coming to the One Ring.
Will get called up. I think Braun Breaker comes in the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. I don't think Braun Breaker loses the NXT Championship at New Year's.
Yeah, we all
Eve,
thought that. Braun
but I
Breaker's still
could
there.
See, and I believe that.
And
I think Grayson Waller-
since Rick Steiner went all fuck you on that lady boy, they're not going to introduce that he's they're not going to steer into him being a Steiner. I thought that would have been advantageous, but yeah, we're not going to acknowledge that for a while.
Waller will get a rematch at Stand and Deliver. I think Braun Breaker loses the title finally at Stand and Deliver to Grayson Waller, not at New Year's Eve.
I'm not even paying
I think he's a
attention to
different
NXT. I
opponent
don't know if he
at,
has the championship
Day.
or not. What's next?
We will see the reformation of DIY. I believe that Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano will find their way back.
Ciampa, I
together.
love. I used to watch
Every
him
story
in
is
Ring of
cyclical.
Honor.
This
He's
is a team that was
badass.
supposed to hit the main roster years ago. I believe they will hit the main roster. And I believe
Think of
another
nature too. He
team
keeps
will
getting
make their way
injured
back
and keeps coming
to WWE.
back. Very well,
And that team will
not
face
being
DIY
hobbled.
at SummerSlam. I think at SummerSlam 2023, we will see
Not long, Rosa.
DIY versus FTR. And I don't know if they'll be known as FTR, whatever you want to call them. I believe FTR will be back in WWE in 2023 under Triple H. And then at SummerSlam, we'll get DIY versus FTR, and they will absolutely bring the house down.
Oh,
they
he
will
was
have
predicting
DIY,
FTR leaving. Everyone
down.
predicted that.
The
The Young Bucks
the New
are
Day.
treating
And it
them
goes on
like
and on.
shit.
Street Profits.
These
on and on.
executive vice presidents are treating employees like shit. But Tony's their friend, so they can stay, and their incompetent relatives and wives can keep their positions and keep running my business incompetently with my millions of dollars because they're my friend. What did I just do there? Watch later. I don't need to watch later. I'm watching now.
I think Matt Cardona.
Same thing with Dixie Carter. Like AJ Styles speaks up about how the box truck that TNA had never got wrapped. Like that's just free advertising once you get it wrapped. And I think the entire time AJ Styles was there, they never got the truck wrapped to get that free billboard advertising going down the road whenever it's doing what it's already
I
doing.
believe that Matt Cardona will return to the WWE. I believe it will be early in 2023. I think he will return as a heel. I think he will return as Matt Cardona. Hopefully he'll get a microphone. Hopefully he'll be a man on a mission. I believe that he will attract heat the way he has figured out how to do so on NWA, GCW. These are all different audiences. Impact. All different audiences that he has figured out how to be a heel in front of. I believe that Matt Cardona, not Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona will be back in WWE.
He's not, is he?
I think
Did he
Mandy
make
Rose
one
will
off?
be back in WWE. I don't know.
He's
if
doing
it'll
his own
be,
thing. I think
3
his
months,
wife is by
6
his
months,
side
whatever it is.
too. So nuts to.
I wouldn't be shocked if
Forget
it's
who his
right
wife
after
is.
WrestleMania. I think Mandy Rose will be back in WWE.
Chelsea Green?
And I think
She's
she'll
in
go to the main roster when
WWE.
she comes back. I think you may see.
So yeah, maybe they maybe being with his wife would bring him to
it'll be when Rhea
WWE.
Ripley
He's having
beats Bianca Belair for the women's
fun
championship,
on
and
the
Mandy
indies,
Rose shows
that's
up
for
to take the title
sure.
from her. Maybe it'll
And
be
if Zack Ryder gets back to WWE, the way they treated him last time, I'd be worried if I were him. I'd be screaming again.
You are trashing my scene.
Because they totally trashed his scene last time.
to mess with this new.
Oh,
version
that
of Asuka.
Torgo walk. Kane kicked his ass, and he had a Torgo walk all the way down to the ring. It was fantastic. And that was supposed to get him over, being John Cena's little buddy who gets his fucking ass kicked, and Cena has to stick up for him.
That we're starting to evolve into. Maybe it'll be before that. Maybe she'll show up as a Bianca Belair opponent. Maybe she'll show up to SmackDown after Becky Lynch beats Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania and go after Becky Lynch as the woman who held the NXT championship for 400 days. But either way, however it's done, I 1000% believe that Mandy Rose will be on the main roster and back in WWE in 2023. Now, if we can go back to NXT, as I said, I think that by mid-year,
I'd rather not go back to NXT. Let's get away from NXT.
I believe Booker T will wrestle a match for NXT. Booker T has wrestled a few matches. The match is Booker T versus
he
Grayson
runs his
Waller.
own school.
That's the match I would love to see.
He's got
There are other people.
an internet show. I'm pretty sure they have an internet show.
However you want to do it. I believe in 2023, we will see Booker T compete.
The Inuit show
in an NXT
on the
ring
internet.
At a premium
The
level.
internet Inuit show.
You're trying to attract people into the building. Why not? Promise a Booker T
Cheers.
match against one of these rookies.
That's how I'll
built
do
up on
my
television.
cheers.
It's a good idea.
Pretending I do it on
Finally,
purpose.
Finally, my final prediction for 2023.
Final.
Nothing to do with Triple H maintaining position or Vince McMahon coming back or anything, because who knows with that. But I believe that
just throwing out his magic ball predictions. But yeah, Vince cannot be alone with his thoughts. He has been running away from those thoughts since he was a child, since him and his dad. Like, Vince's mom was a piece of trailer trash that New York big timer Vince McMahon Sr. came down, had a fling with. Kid happened. Take money. No, I am not dealing with this crazy woman. And something bad really happened to Vince. The Playboy interview that Vince had, he alludes to inappropriate touching with an older woman, and it was kind of ambiguous if it was his mother or a friend, but it seemed like that his mother knew what was going on, and Vince is running away from those thoughts very hard. He cannot stay retired and run away from those thoughts.
Believe that in 2023
he needs to be doing something
moves will
until he
begin to be made.
dies
We'll
to
start
run away
hearing
from
about it
those
maybe
thoughts every
3/4
single
into the year.
day.
But by the end of the year, the rumors will be percolating all over the place that the moves are in place, that the pieces are being moved for Conor McGregor to work his first WWE.
Ooh, Conor McGregor, that would be incredible if he came walking in.
Then why the fuck are you walking right through? Like this in the background. What the fuck is it with you?
We don't want him in the background, Christian. We want Conor McGregor up front where Logan Paul is. That's where we want him. That's where you're wrong. We need Conor McGregor really up front
40.
if they're going to get him.
I
That
do
would
not
be
believe Conor McGregor will wrestle in 2023.
amazing, actually.
I believe that in 2023, we will start to hear the rumors, and they will get heavier and heavier. That Conor McGregor
Pronouns,
will
pal.
wrestle at WrestleMania 40 in April of 2024 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
That is correct, Josh. According to the Playboy interview, Vince alludes to being diddled, and I did learn early on in my chatting as the conversation moves. Pronouns, pal. That's actually a big Vince McMahonism. The pronouns get confusing with just a he and a she. More specific. Who is he? Who is she?
We can talk more about that on my 2024 prediction show in approximately 52 weeks.
2 times faster hydration for your marathon.
Sam Roberts,
Liquid
very
IV, real
dead on with his predictions. And no, not Jim Cornette. That'll get. They are very protective of his content. I do not want to show Jim Cornette content because that will get this video flagged. I hope I got away from it in time and that the Travis Heckle artwork doesn't get me flagged already. That was just a quick moment of audio that I was like, la, 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 la. So please don't come after me, Brian Last. I did my best on the autoplay to get it out of there. I suppose YouTube has made it easy to go back and edit that out if need be. So thank you, Sam Roberts. I think that was a good choice rather than whatever you were babbling on about this week. Let's get to a few TikToks to take us out. First up, Kitty Cat.
How many fucking pictures do you need of the cat? She doesn't change.
I think she changed in some of those. Which he says down here, Dobby literally looks different in every pic. They're from That Cat Dobby. It is an account just for the kitty cat. And this was actually a last-minute replacement video. I had another one to promote some wares of a comedian, but there was music in the background that I could not decipher if it was copyrighted or not. It's weird how YouTube, like yeah, another clip I wanted to show was just like minutes of MLB footage. I know damn well the MLB
Here's part 9
people. So here we have Zara. Yes, she is the lady who got hit by a mail truck, and this is non-USPS content.
If I think I could beat every U.S. president in a fight, and unrelatedly, if I would let them take me on a date. Just a reminder, the ground rules, all fighting is hand-to-hand combat unless the president has a signature weapon, in which case they are allowed to use it, and all dating is not based on politics or morals, because let's be real, they're all terrible people. It is instead based on what historians say their vibes were like. First up, we have Teddy Roosevelt. He was a champion boxer. He practiced judo. He regularly got in fistfights with cowboys, and also as a big game hunter, I will allow him a signature weapon of a gun, so I'm not surviving this fight. And I would not go on a date with him because that whole story about him like not being willing to kill a specific bear because it was dishonorable that got teddy bears named after him is a lie, and I don't date liars. Next up, we have Taft. He's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, and also, like, he is roughly twice my size, so just in terms of physics, I don't think I could knock him down. So I'm going to give him the win in the fight. But absolutely go on a date with him, because anytime after his presidency where he was interviewed about being president, he was so embarrassed about how bad he did as president that he would just respond like, oh, I have no memory of being president. And I love that commitment to the bit. Iconic. Then finally, we have Wilson. He suffered a minimum of 3 strokes before even entering office, leaving him very physically weak, making him an easy target. I think I could beat him in a fight. And I would not go on a date with him because he proposed to his wife after less than a month of knowing her. And like, that's just way too fast for me. I cannot risk going on a date with him and then accidentally ending
way
up
too
married.
fast. Take it down a notch, Zara. So that was Zara. Taft, I actually share a birthday with. So go Taft, go. I share a birthday with Taft and Teddy Long from the WWE. It's going to be a 6-man playa. And to take us out, we have some legal advice.
You can't park your car here, ma'am. Are you blind? Ma'am, move your car.
As a practicing and licensed attorney, I agree. Legally, she can't park there.
That's good to know. And it's also good to see that we had viewership throughout this episode, and it looks like Zara drove them off. So thank you for letting me know about that one. I guess she won't be featured as much as Molly Moon. And it looks like this girl needs to be taken out. She's been speaking up the whole time. So enough of these peoples, enough of the talky talk. Thank you for coming. Now go check out my other